Successful. See, it just disconnected again. Alright, so it killed the stream. And over on Twitch, that shut off too. Now I can only hope, as it did. Nope, it finished. Stream finished. Damn it. Now I gotta mess around with this. Don't know if the stream's dead completely or it made another one. And people are watching me right now. I don't know. Let's go and see. It says live. Let me see. It says excellent condition. Alright, so I guess it made a new stream. James, you're the only one because it killed my stream. So yeah, it happened. Dun, 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 dun. So I don't know what it is. It could be Restream, it could be YouTube, it could be me. It can't be any of my settings. Let me see. It's back streaming there. Let me make sure this is up. James. Another pop-out chat. Okay. Interdimensional spiders. It made another one. Yeah, I found it. Tried posting a link to set. See, it just shut off. All it says, it said, all of a sudden, it said no data on YouTube. It told me no data. Just all of a sudden, it went from excellent to no data. In other words, nothing's getting to YouTube. And then after 1 minute, unless it reconnects within a minute or maybe 30 seconds, I don't know, it will end the stream and start a new one. Or it won't start a new one automatically if it still isn't connecting. So that's what happens to me. All of a sudden, boom, I'm in a new chat and this one died and I don't know it. I'll sit here gum flapping for 5-10 minutes. Thinking the stream is off, but it's actually a new stream somewhere and I don't even realize that. So I got to go find it. And if it isn't there, then I got to make a new stream and put it up. So I don't know what's going on. It's getting frustrating. So sorry, you guys, if it throws you off kilter. It's been bugging me all week. Not as bad today, but I guess I spoke too soon. Try posting a link to the set AK Interactive. Can you post links? Let me go look and see. If you want to post it here. I don't know where else you'd post it. Let me, James, if you want to post that link. Otherwise, I don't know what you do. Send me an email. Let me fix this. Hold on, I don't want to report you. Let me click on the right name here. There. There, now you can post links. Thought I had that set already to that. I don't know why it's not. Hi James. Interdimensional. Excellent, thank you. Doing well. This editing. Health. Matt's getting a lot done. He's in hyperactivity mode. His brush is going 90 miles an hour. He's getting some beautiful models done. Has your painting style changed from what it used to be? I'm sure it has. But if it has changed, how have you adapted, I should say? And I'm thinking about your injury. Do you notice any differences in your results because of that adapting? I'm curious about that. Your work is fantastic, as usual. On par, to my eye, but I could be wrong. Maybe you're noticing it's not. And I'd like to know if that's the case, and if you've adapted, and have you noticed it, and have you had to do something different? I'd be curious, Matt. It's just amazing to me that you basically stopped painting because of your injury entirely, because of your injury. Now all of a sudden, just you got this urge and decided to try and found out, wow, this is actually helping my hand. I need to do this again. Plus I wanna, you know. That's pretty awesome. You can hear the geese flying over. Heading south. Makes me sad. There's the link to the AK Interactive products. Let me grab that link and put in Facebook. Oh, jeez, I can't click it here. I have to go to YouTube. Mantic Universe Podcast, MU. We'll have to check it out. YouTube, Curtis. Changed for the better. Thank you. Changed for the better. How is that? Are you going slower? Is it a slower process for you? I can't imagine that, but you always were a pretty fast painter, getting stuff out pretty quick. I love your base work. I know you're an artist to begin with, so, you know, this is all standard for you. Your base work I absolutely love. I mean, I think about your bases that you've done for those demons. How you did the molten stone and, you know, the lava underneath their feet. Brilliant. To me, I probably wouldn't do that. And I was looking at your figures today and looking at those bases and thinking, would I do that? Would I do that? Would I do that for my bases? Maybe if I'm doing a lava board for sure, but normally I wouldn't do such crazy, wacky stuff, you know? But would I do that for the bases just to be thematic and make them look right, you know, because they're demons, they're from below the Earth's surface, or it would be hot and steamy and terrible and uncomfortable. Would I do that? And I still haven't figured out if I would or not, but that begs to ask me, what kind of base would I do? And I really don't know. What, am I just going to put them on a grassy field like they're in a golf course? And they're you know, going to fight a battle at the local park? Is that what I'm going to do? Just because my dwarves have grassy bases, you know, we got to fit them in. And I doubt that I would do that. Which makes me think again, would I do those lava bases? Would I get crazy and wacky like Matt? Would I do that? Because he don't hold back, folks. Matt does not hold back. He never did. All or nothing kind of guy. He's not a guy you want to go out drinking with. You won't make it home. Trust me on that. All or nothing. Gonna watch him. But anyway, let's read the chat and see what's going on. Matt says, it has improved drastically. I was forced to slow down and turn. It made me notice more. Thank you for that. Base work is my fave. Yeah, I love your bases. Very creative, and you can tell you're an artist. Yes, your painting is looking good, says James. Thank you, James. All or nothing kind of guy. The phrase half-assed does not exist in the vocab of Matt. Doesn't exist. Unless he's talking about somebody else, which is quite the possibility. But, yeah. There's only one way to do things around the Schreiber household. And that's full-on pedal to the metal. If he's got to get a new bed for the bedroom, he's going to redo the whole bedroom. Walls, ceiling, it's all coming down. We're going to do this right. No half-assed here. Break out the saws and the horses. We're going to do some contracting here at the Schreiber household. Schreiber Kingdom. These ogres are going to be difficult. Yes, the ogres. I'm trying to focus on what I'm trying to do here. I'm painting tires. Gotta paint my tires. Got some tires to paint. Very bland, basic, uninspiring tires. Not like those beautiful bases of Matt's. Lava. Dancing around the little demon toes and hooves. Put any army to shame just by showing up and putting them on the table. Boom. Solid victory right there. No dice needed. Victory assured. Champions. So, yeah. Hold on, I gotta focus. Damn it. Huzzah. I hate painting tires. So boring and it takes so long. But if you do it well, it'll be quite satisfying. So at least you get something out of it. A little satisfaction. That's right. Okay, there we go. Tires painted, and I did them quite well, and I'm very satisfied. I'm ready to do another one. Alright, so these guys are done. I could finish the basing right now. Excellent. I'm going to do that. I'm going to put the rest of the crew on these guys. And that's it. I'm done for the day. Wait a minute. I don't know. I don't think I can. Damn it! I don't have them painted. Alright, I can't base them then. Let me double check. I got this guy. You know what? I'm just going to finish these guys before I base them. So here they are. Here's the two pack 40s. Looking good. Here's some of the infantry. They're all based. Jake did all the wash. Yeah, I've only got a handful of figures left to do. There's only 5 left that have no paint on them at all except primer. And that's it. Just these last 5. And then I got these guys right here. And they've already got their helmets, their hats, their tunics, their trousers done. So these are going to go real quick. So maybe tomorrow I'll get all of this done in one go. And the infantry, I'm going to get all this done, period. It's not much. I'm only on here for a few hours though, but yeah, we could get that done. And the Germans will be done, and they'll all be based. And it's time to finish the basing, which means texturing with spackle. It'll take me about 3 days to get the basing done because I got to put on the spackle, let it dry for a day. Paint it, I could let that go another day. Doesn't matter because I'm going to be painting the last platoon of troops for this project, and that is 30 or so U.S. pairs. 82nd All-American I'm going to be doing. And on the weekend, I'm going to put together the Flak 88s, and I'm going to have Jake paint those. I might even let him do the crew. But I'm going to have a couple of Flak 88s on the table. Or maybe I'll print some of Nerds Stugs. Maybe that's what I'll do. Yeah. And he could paint the Stugs. That would be a great idea. Ouch. That would be great. I haven't seen Squirrel in a couple days. Wonder what he's up to. Try painting a lot more now. Just need to chill and stop rushing. I enjoy painting a lot more now, says James. Good. That's the key, right? That's the key. You really should enjoy painting. You really should. You'll get more fulfillment out of your hobby, I think. It's not everybody's cup of tea. I get it. Those people are usually board gamers, too. Yeah, I have enough painted. I can do more battle reports and focus painting and paint and not have to do any video every time. James says, as a point of order, those objective markers could be NPCs in need of rescue, treasure chests, or piles of loot. Looking good, Kurt? Thanks, Matt. I have the resin one to paint up. Just a fun little idea for Champions. Did you ever consider playing Champions, James, or are you done with that? I like it. I could get into that. Because and I say this, and I know that Champions is designed to lead you into the bigger main game of Kings of War, which is great. It's fantastic. But still, on its own, it's actually a really fun game, and I've realized this now. Since I've been playing 40K, it has this combat patrol thing where you buy a box of what they call a combat patrol, and it's just like Champions. You buy a box and it's a fully contained force. You know, maybe it's got a few choices in it, but that's it. So 40K has combat patrol. That's actually pretty cool. I like that. It makes it easier to get into 40K without going broke. And it's great for Jake. He could paint up this little box and he's good to go. It would work with Champions too. So now I'm looking at this new game. To me, it's new in a way. That's Kill Team. And I'm sold by it. I love the idea. But the thing is, the game this is the way it plays. They're pre-made forces. There's no rules currently out for making your own list building stuff, you know. Although if they do publish the campaign rules, you're going to have access to the rules for points and stuff or whatever. But it doesn't need it. The game works great. And I've actually warmed up to this whole idea of pre-made forces, maybe with some option changes here and there. That's great. I could live with that. So it's kind of cool to me. So I kind of like it with Champions too, and it's given me an incentive kind of to actually get into Champions and possibly Kings of War in the future. What a great idea. You know, I like it. And Matt, of course, he's played a bunch of Champions games, so he knows what it's all about. Can't have just one. Got to start thinking of your next little faction box. And that's okay. Stück life. Yes, I had someone 3D print them for me. Semantic's a good choice. Source of minis would probably DBX base them or single base them. GW announced another 4% rise. Yeah, they did. I saw that. I'd never buy direct from GW. I never have, except when I was in business, and I kind of had to. But yeah, never paid those prices. What I really like about Kings of War is the different factions. You already have a Kings of War starter and 2 armies. I do, but they're not Champions forces though. I'd have to tinker with them. But anyway, I'm thinking of Kill Team. I'm not thinking of Champions. I like the Kill Team thing. I like it a lot more than I thought I would. You mean I can't list build? Oh no! But then that's 40K for you, right? So I don't know. I've warmed up to the idea. Kill Team Blood and Zeal box. Another example of good GW minis. Good meaning I like them. Blood and Zeal. They got a new box coming out now for pre-release. What the heck is it? Tomb something? It's got Necrons and I think it's Necrons and something. I think. I can't remember. Next year they're going to release a new double faction box, which is the Hunters of something. I don't know what it is. It's a Hunter box, but it includes the new faction for the Sisters of Battle. Because their Sanctifier one is going in the classic list, which means they're no longer legal in tournaments. Not that that matters, because it doesn't. People still play them. But that's a thing. That's how they funnel out and bring in new ones. It's actually a really smart idea, without making them totally useless. They don't have to stock all this stuff. Well, I guess they would have to if they're going to keep selling them. But they phase them out, you know. So that'll be cool. And these Sisters of Battle actually look better than the previous ones, if you ask me. I got so many 40k models, I can probably put some factions together. Yeah. So that's nice. Kill Team Blood and Zeal. Another example. Your team doesn't advance and the new kill team doesn't. My team? Which team is that? I don't have any teams. I don't have anything yet. I am going to buy the original Sisters of Battle one, though. The Sanctifiers, I think they're called. It's the one Rosemary has. She's painting them up. So I guess the Sanctifiers, every year or whatever, I don't know how it works, but they go through these life cycles. Like when they first release one of these factions, or teams as they're known, they're only available for competition play, tournaments, for so long, and they're fully supported for a certain length of time. And then when they're put in this other list called Classics or something, and that means they're no longer legal for competitive play. Again, that doesn't matter to most players, and it doesn't matter. You can still play them. But it's GW's way of keeping the buyer base fresh and constantly selling new stuff and keeping tournaments fresh and new. You know, they don't want somebody coming in and playing this one faction that just beats everybody all the time. And that's it. So they funnel them out, which is actually pretty smart. But yeah, I'll pick up the Sanctifiers and whatever's in the starter box. And then I'll get the new Sisters of Battle one that's coming out. It's 2 factions in the box. I don't know what they're called, the Retributors or something, and some Chaos. I think it's a Chaos Assault Marine type thing. I don't know what the name of the faction is, but those 2 are coming in. So that'll be cool. I can use all that stuff. There's one of the ways to play the game, and as you know, GW is quite fond of offering in their games different ways of playing, including the competitive. But for some reason, and again, the new edition just came out last year, I think, the 2024, so it's still freaking new. But they don't have the rules for playing narrative games, i.e. your campaign. And those rules include, among other things, making your own faction. They're not there. So you have to play with the box sets. But the rules are out there. They're just for the previous edition. So people are still waiting for that. And that'd be great. And what did you ask me? Oh, so that means that the rules for advancing your character aren't in there either, I don't think. So I don't think that's an option right now. Although that said, I was watching something last night, I think, about upgrading your teams, like as if it's a campaign or something. But that might have been the previous version. I don't remember. I'd have to go back and look. But there's no campaign rules in it, as far as I know. I beat him up, Cowardly Lion. How you doing, Cal? I know who you are. cost 300% is a greater business model. Plus 300%. It's disgusting, isn't it? Yeah, it is a bummer. And that, when I was first learning about this newest version of the game, which is essentially like the second edition, a few tweaks and changes here and there, I was kind of like, wow, you can't make your own lists? Where's the campaign rules? That really sucks. But then I started thinking about this pre-made way of playing and how convenient it frickin' is. That's actually not bad at all. I'm actually warmed up to it a lot. And again, that's in reference to seeing things like Champions for Kings of War and Combat Patrol for 40K, which I really like. So, and the fact that I know the rules are out there means that sooner or later they're going to have official rules for playing linked games and stuff, if they don't already. And I don't think they do. I don't recall. So it's no big deal with me. I could live with that for sure. It's disgusting, isn't it? It's just left and right, all these big frickin' corporations destroying our hobby. It's just insane. It's like an infection. It's like a disease. I want to go back to the old days when GW was GW. It was grim dark. It was a wargamer's heaven for most of us. Like D&D. Now I'm playing Tales of Argosa. Can't be bothered with D&D. It's all we need is more activism in our games. Yeah, let's bring more activist game designers in our community. That's just a great idea. Let's do that. There's my rant for the day. The GW rants are deserved. However, the gamers need to stop buying their stuff, too. Well, that's the problem. That's the problem. It's an addiction. GW is smart because all their whole thing is based on one thing. To hell with the fans of the game, the veterans of the games. They don't care about you. They don't. Their focus, every time they come out with a new edition of the game, is new players. They're focused on one thing, bringing new people in. They don't care about keeping you as much as getting new people in. And as long as they can do that, they can justify a new edition of the game every 3 years. They can justify bringing out new models every few years for old stuff, because the player base is new. They're the ones they're nurturing. That's what they want. And then halfway through the cycle of the release, they don't care anymore. They let those people fall to the wayside. They really don't. Not that I know anything, but yeah, that's my thoughts anyway. They're at a position where they're so filthy freaking rich that the hobby really doesn't matter anymore. It is literally just about making money at this stage. And that's the problem with these big corporate things going on, like Hasbro and Wizards of the Coast. It's the yeah. You know what it is. Back to carving my miniatures out of chalk. Chalk. I still think cast iron is the way to go. I'm still in on that idea. I really am. I like the old GW stuff, but I can't afford their new stuff. 2, I can't figure out what the current stable rules are. And 3, I can't put their kits together. The problem is me. It's not for me. Sidewalk chalk. Absolutely, Cal. Also the free publicity from the rant channels. I think the lore is over-explained, says James. And the lack of emphasis on the personalization means there isn't much to explore. Veterans don't buy new stuff. New players spend more, says Matt. I've bought a few GW sets, says Cal, a year or more after release from third party. And James says, I don't see the point of being upset when Mantic, Northstar, Victrix, War Games Atlantic, and Warlord Games exist. Life is beautiful. Especially price-wise. James, I buy more from those companies than GW anyway. Yeah, because it's all the new players, the ones that get hooked on this hobby, which is great, but man, they're the ones that they're focused on. They're the ones giving all the money. It seems to work for them. So, after being in it and walking away from it, not giving them their money, doesn't matter to GW. They don't need your money. As long as they keep bringing in new numbheads, new yoke heads, they're fine. Which is sad. You can go back and look. I predicted what would happen with Warhammer. We talked about it in a live stream, live chat, and I still have it, I'm sure, somewhere. I said GW was going to bring back Warhammer. And this was as soon as when people were burning their armies and melting them. I told the people they're going to bring this back because it's a simple way of creating need. James knows all about this idea. It's a marketing ploy. I've just never seen it practiced very much in our industry, but it's a simple marketing ploy. And there's other factors too, but they were going to bring it back. Because how do you increase demand for something? You take it away. And that's exactly what they did. And they had no problem taking away Warhammer and blowing up the world. That's going to create a void. Mantic tried to pick up on that, and they did. They got quite a bit out of that. Now here we are. All of a sudden, we've got Warhammer, the old world. They brought it back. In fact, they brought back the old original models. Just a frickin' game. Just a ploy. Let's see how long that one lasts. Buying more from those companies. I like Warlord Games as a company. I think they're pretty cool. Mantic, I think, is fantastic, as Matt knows. They're really what GW should have became. That's what GW should have became. But then GW would get powerful anyway, and I don't see the end being any different. Be glad Mantic is not a big company like GW, because if they were, what do you think would happen? But still, I like Mantic a lot. And Warlord. I like Battlefront too. As far as big companies, or not big companies, but what would you call them? I mean, they're not a Hasbro. Big small companies? I don't know what you call them. Rip off the scab. The old world is a mess. I don't even try. I looked at the prices of some of those models, and they're great. These are, a lot of them are original models from back in the day. I'd love to have them for my old school games. They're way too expensive. You gotta be kidding me. A box of knights. And the way they package them, too. It's atrocious. I can't afford that. I would definitely buy from Gripping Beast and or the other companies, Warlord Games. I'd buy all my models from them. Victrix, War Games Atlantic especially. There's better models, in fact. But anyway. Curtis, you're the best, buddy. James, you are the king. I'm just the best. He's the king, is it? I see how it goes. I see. Maybe I wanted to be king. What happened to that? No lizard men or dark elves. But here have... Well, I can't read, man. But here have these Ming Dynasty dudes from the other side of the world. Yeah, exactly. What's up with that? Somebody told me they don't even have Skaven released. Is that true? I thought Skaven were a big part of the lore for the old world. Somebody told me they don't even have Skaven. Hard to believe we waited 3 years for what they released. Yeah. I don't know what to say. I have no comment on it. It's nice to have... I actually like the idea of the old original models, but it's not for the old world. It's for, you know, they're available again. I'd pick them up. A lot of old schoolers are going to pick them up if they've got the money. I don't know. Anyway, I won't permit myself to rant about these because it's a skill issue on my part, and the alternatives are just way more exciting, as they should be. Creativity as a hobby, we need to reach GW escape velocity. There are new things we can dream up. Let's make the new models 32 mil in the Age of Sigmar aesthetic and release the crappiest of old models. Yeah. It's terrible. I never had any interest in Age of Sigmar. And I never will. The closest I ever got was that one game they made, which I think is one of their better games. What is it called? Warlords? You know what it is, James. It's the skirmish game for Age of Sigmar. Very good game, well written, well put together, streamlined cards, special dice. But it was Age of Sigmar. I can't remember the name of it. War something, Warlords, not Warlords. Warcry, that's what it was. Warcry. Yes, there it is, Matt. Warcry. That was a great game. Never played it, never had it, but I've looked at it and been tempted so many times. Because I'm always looking out for games that I could get into with Jake and Jesse and stuff. Easy to get into, be immersed, great aesthetic to it. That was the closest I came to anything to do with Age of Sigmar. I just don't like the game. I don't like the setting. It's like a frickin' video game. Today's our rant special. We had a few rants, both in the voice and in the text chat. Yeah, that's right. People are airing things out. A lot of frustration, I think. Yeah. Who spawned this rant? Got some troublemakers somewhere. I think it was Cal. He threw some fire in our midst. We all just gobbled it up. Gotta eat the fire. But anyway, I haven't been thinking much about my fantasy gaming yet. I will. I'll get back to working on my models. when I say that, I mean I don't have any real focus on any particular game or anything, whether it's Champions or Kings of War or 4th or 5th edition Warhammer or Midgard or any of these other indie games. Except I do know that that one game by Osprey, when it comes to a unit-based game, I'm probably going to start with that because it would be great for Jake. And yes, I keep forgetting, I have a fully painted High Elf army ready to go. So it's not a big daunting task. Oathmark. I think I'll probably play some smaller skirmish games. You know, that kind of thing. Before I really get to focused on a fantasy game. And we'll see what I do. I'm purposely not thinking of it because I want to keep my focus at least a little bit on my sci-fi and historicals. Gotta watch that, Cal. Gotta watch him. Someone had to go old world. My druid did that yesterday too. So that's where I set. Maybe play some League of Dungeoneers with my miniatures. I'd definitely do that. I don't have a massive collection like Cal. He could play League of Dungeoneers and have everything, including terrain. So I think what'll happen is I'm going to push this Flames of War project for Hit the Beach. And once that's painted, it's not completed. It's a whole lifetime project for me, my World War II 15s. But I think what I'll do, I could see this happening. I'm going to take a break, play some Flames of War like a madman. And my painting is going to shift over probably to 40K again. Jake's been kind of asking about that. And start painting up kill team stuff. I think that's what I'm going to do there. My painting will shift. And I'll focus on that, get a couple factions done. And then I'm not thinking what's after that. That'll be a whole new thing. Maybe Flames of War again, maybe 28 mil, maybe some, I don't know. No, I'm not even thinking about what's next, but that's where I'm looking at. I could see that happening very soon. And I'll enjoy that. That'll be good fun. I'm only thinking about sci-fi at the moment. Later Dark Ages and fantasy 19th century. Slowly getting the flags for those, or the figs, sorry. Except, Cal says, I have no one to game with in person. So I just display my pristine minis. Yeah. Well, there's nothing wrong with that. If you don't play solo. And some games are designed to be solo. Kill Team has a solo method. Solo rules, for instance. League of Dungeoneers is solo. You can play that solo. Otherwise it's a co-op game. There's lots of options, Cal. Lots of games you could be playing. Put the kettle on, Cal. I like a big walk. What did we do today? We did 4 hours and 50 minutes. Ooh, gee. Wow, was I on that long? Holy smokes. We'll give it a little bit longer, and then I gotta get out of here and eat and rest my head. Been ranting too much. We have a game con in early October, says Cal, so maybe I meet some new people. There you go. That's a great idea. You should do that, Cal. Don't make me come all the way out to California again just to bring a game and have a go. If I ever move out to Arizona, I'd probably come visit you. That's a big possibility. So don't give up hope. I'm just trying to get better at and enjoying painting more. That's a good thing to do, 'cause it's a big part of the hobby. I play in one game online Sunday evening. Online. Who's running that game? I don't. Nerdy Yogurt was telling me he's got some bunch of games he's playing in. 5 Leagues from the Borderlands. Yeah, that's another good fantasy game. Yeah, Cal, why don't you do that, man? There's some really freaking good games that are intentionally designed for you. Rangers of Shadow Deep is another cool one. And these are really good games. Stargrave, Frostgrave, DBA, Sharp Practice, and a bunch of others eventually. It's a good one, March Hare. Yeah, it is. And the sci-fi stuff, you got the 5 parsecs from Home, which is the sci-fi version of it. I forgot about that. Modifius makes a lot of cool games for solo players. I mean, really good stuff. I've assembled some 200 plus minis, says Cal, in 3 months. So it's back to painting. I thought I was doing well with 20. Better get cracking. Shadow runs the game. Shadow runs the game on Sunday. Ooh, Shadowrun. What edition? You knew I was going to ask that. When somebody mentioned Shadowrun, the next question is immediately, what edition? Certainly not the modern current one. I could be wrong. I tried to get in on Nerdy's game, but time didn't work out. It's too bad, man. He's been trying to run that game forever. Felt bad for him. But you guys and your Rifts. I think that's the game you're talking about. I am not a Rifts fan at all. Otherwise, I'd play. Shadow. Shadow is the guy's handle. Shadow and Sun. Good old Shadow. He's in SoCal. Yeah, he is. I know. I know where he's at. I don't talk to him much. But every once in a while he throws a hello my direction. Hyperborea, yeah. My next big effort is going to be my RPG campaign. I'm looking forward to it. Right now I'm going through my final thought processes as to what I want to start playing with. Because I want Jake to be able to play. And I want something to play that's long term. And I want something that's going to be old school because that's really what I enjoy. Long term. So my top tier list. I talked about this the other day. The games I'm playing campaigns or going to play campaigns in includes Hyperborea, Tales of Argosa, a new game, which I think is... No, I'm not even going to include this one. I won't even mention it. Tales of Argosa and Hyperborea. That's it. Axe 2 is definitely a must-play, but the problem is I don't have it. I could get the PDFs relatively cheap, but I'm not going to... I can't run games like that, and right now the game is too frickin' expensive. So I'm just waiting until they come out with cheaper versions of the rules, which I assume they actually said they're going to do. It's not released yet, the way it should be. So I'm not even putting that in the top tier at the moment. But there's only 2 games I'm really thinking about, Hyperborea and Tales of Argosa, and I think what's going to happen is I'm just going to run them both. I'll just pick one to start with, probably Tales of Argosa. And I'm going to run some long-term campaigns with that stuff, man, if all goes well. So I'll be looking for some new players, by the way, because I know these games aren't going to be a big draw for my Sunday group. I mean, Rachel might, but I doubt it. She's played old school games before. I don't know if she'd be a regular player anyway. Her schedule's off. And Kyle, who I haven't talked to in a long time, I don't know what happened to him. He's just... all he wants to play is Pathfinder 2. That's it. That's it. Nothing else. He's tried everything else he thinks, and that's it. Which is okay. I get it. So I'll be pulling some new players. So if you're an old school fan, I'll be pulling some folks in. And what I want to do is run it long term. A lot of emergent gameplay, sandboxy. Primarily, that's how I'm going to run it. So people are going to play. They're going to drop out for a while. They're going to come back. That's okay. I'm going to be pulling new players in eventually here and there as we go down the line. It's totally open to that. Ideally, I want about 4 players, 5 maybe, 6 tops. But I just want a nice, decent crew of 4 people. We're all friends. We're all good. We love it. We love the game. I don't want people half-hearted with the game. I want people that want to be there and want to play the game. That's important to me. So yes, I'll be pulling in some new folks for that purpose. What was that link? What was that link that just disappeared? James, was that you again? I didn't even see it. I was trying to read it. Let me go back. Hyperborea. I need to buy Hyperborea. Hyperborea is awesome. Oh my gosh, it's my favorite. I wouldn't say it's the best game, but it is my favorite. That game is so good. If you like sword and sorcery, and you're a fan of first edition AD&D, what a great game. It's solid. It's concise. The setting is amazing. That's my favorite, to be honest with you. Axe is... to be honest, I think personally that Axe 2 is one of the best, if not the best, OSR game out there. Simply because it is so complete and it does everything so well. The class as race, it does perfectly. It does it in a way that makes it preferable and better with more variety than class and race being separate, I think. And it also does tiers of play perfectly. Just like the old Beck-Me game, where you can do these different things based on your level. New things are options now, more than just a stronghold. Oh my gosh, if you wanted to, you could get into actually forming your own thieves guild or a merchant guild. You know, besides ruling lands and building towers and castles and fighting big battles. You can do all these other things that are tied to your level. In other words, tiered play, the way it should be. Very much like Beckme. And it does it so well. And it's got all the old school D&D stuff we would want, like reactions, morale, wandering monsters and events for all kinds of terrain and levels of the dungeon. That's what we want. That's what I want. That's old school as you can get. So it's not just about heroic adventuring. It's about exploration. It's about domain building. You know, you're thinking about this stuff as you adventure and gain more power. That's perfect. Fantastic. And the system itself is entertaining. It's a smart game system. I think it goes a little bit on the crunchy side, but not overwhelmingly so. I think it does it in the right places. Unlike, say, Pathfinder 2, which is essentially a very streamlined system, except that it is just too much baggage, too many feats, too many feats. That's number one. There's too many feats divided up into different categories. It's too much. Too much. This isn't like that. In that way. Those are my thoughts. And mine alone. I think it's still on sale, but I need to wait until September 4, says poor Orc. Hyperborea. Yeah, they got a new reprint coming out. You could get the new reprints. I think he's doing a Kickstarter for the reprints. Something like that. But they're basically the same rules. They just include the errata. An errata sheet, which you can download for free elsewhere. I just bought the Hyperborea books earlier this year. So I'm not going to buy the reprints. I don't need them. I just download the errata sheet, and it's a one-page thing. And there you go. You're all set. And you might be able to get them on sale. Mathfinder. Yeah, it's not as bad as first edition, but Cal, you've been following my progress in Pathfinder and my campaigns, and talking with Max and everything else. But I'm at this stage now where Pathfinder Second Edition, something I said was this is a game for me. I found out that after playing it solid every week for 4 years, this was not the game for me. Stuff that was revealed through gameplay about this game totally turned me off to it. And so I've totally changed on that. It's a great game for what it does, but I discovered what it's doing isn't really what I want to run. And when I try to run it the way I want to run, I really can't. It's not designed to play like I wanted it to, which is more like an old school thing. I wouldn't say it's overly complicated. I would say it's like bloated with too much options, we'll call them, for players to choose from. Just totally different kind of game. I would literally rather play Pathfinder First Edition than Second Edition. Crazy, huh? But that's the truth. That's the way I feel. And I could play First Edition over Second Edition easy. The only reason I don't is because I'm kind of tired of the Mathfinder mentality. Too much rules. At least that's the way I feel now. Maybe it's my age. So there. It's just a different style game. I just can't hack it, man. I can't wait to finish these champions, says Matt, because we are going to do an 8-army tournament bracket. What, at the house? You can do a tournament at the house with the kids and the wife, maybe? That would be great. Battle to see who's stuck doing dishes for a week. Oh, no. Better watch out, Matt. I love it. Please tell me it's going to be a family tournament. I got to scroll to the bottom of the chat here. Nope, I reposted it shorter. Also, Empire of Dust, says Matt. Tomb Kings. Large Kings of War army is put together. Can't wait to paint it up. Biatches. James says, these are the paints I am waiting for. Ah, AK Interactive. Alright. Throwing it down. Throwing it down! Exclamation point. Matt, you need to send me a halfling lawnmower immediately. I need all three. I can possibly work something out. I have 2,500 points of halflings. Oh my gosh. I'm building a hobbit house for their bases. I can't wait to see that. Scratch built too, man. Always beats 3D printing as far as I'm concerned. I also found some 3D printed food scatter for their bases. Turnips! Yes, turnips. James, yes, I have turnips. And finally, well, folks, have to jet. Ta-ta! Toodaloo, Matt, toodaloo. Tell me more about the family tournament. That is what he said, right? We are going to do an 8-army tournament bracket. I'm sure it's with his family. He's got the kids. He's got the family to do it. Tournament. Who wins the golden turnip? Good fun, that's what that would be. Turnip 28, folks. That's another possibility for me. I really like that aesthetic, man. Deep down, I'm a turnip. I want to be a turnip. I worship the turnip gods. I almost said tournament. We're at 9:02, just in time to call the chat. I'm going to have to. It's good chatting, though. I really enjoy it. Got some stuff done. Had some laughs. I got a chance to rant about a few things, which I don't often do. Not exactly the most healthy thing, but I don't know. Maybe it is good to get a rant out now and then. Curse you, GW. Curse you, Wizards of the Coast. I hate you all. You are the villain in my story. Cal says good night. See ya, Cal. Thanks for the conversation, man. I appreciate it. Get some more stuff painted. I want to see the magic that is Cal's brush. The wand, as it were. Marvelous work. Nerds Nerd was here tonight. Thanks, Nerds. Gonna pick up some of your stugs. I think she only makes one. I'll print out a bunch. See how it goes. And Max, not Max, James. Why did I say Max? James, thanks for joining once again. I hope you're feeling good. Keep yourself thinking positive. Good things await. Of course, Matt Schreiber household. Hear from him again soon. March Hare, I see you there, lurking as usual. March Hare 22. And everybody else today. Had some new faces all the way from Deutschland. There you go. That was pretty special. What am I clicked on there? What is that? That's Matt. Yes, sir. All right, James. Whatever was there, I didn't see it. All right, folks. I'm going to call it here. I'm going to get something to eat and relax for the rest of the evening. It's 9 o'clock. And we'll see you guys tomorrow. So, folks, hang in there. You know why. It's only going to get better. Talk to you soon. Toodaloos.